The arrival of a Lady of Velangkani, the statue, from India to Indonesia, we consider is something of a miracle. Because the statue arrived without our knowledge on the very day of the feast, on the 8th of September 2001. We had ordered this for the church, a bigger statue, but twice they failed to send it by air. So we were just praying that Our Lady should come on the day of her feast. But until 7th of September, there was no news from India. So we thought God has not granted our prayers. So we started to plan the feast with a little statue at the chapel. Take the statue in procession and place that statue on a prepared stool meant for this bigger statue. Just 1 hour before the feast started, I received a phone call from the airport in Medan, informing us that a statue from India has arrived. We were completely amazed and shocked. No news about her sending. Anyway, we went and brought her from the airport and we celebrated the feast with her. Only 2 days later we came to know how she managed to come here. It seems that one of our Catholic ladies from Medan went to India for holidays several months earlier. We didn't know that she had gone, but out of her own initiative, she went and got the statue from my relations and wanted to take along with her luggage. She arrived at the airport in Madras. When he checked in, before sending it to the cargo, the man said, unless you pay 30 kilo extra of your luggage, this statue cannot be sent. So that lady didn't expect this problem. She didn't bring any money. So what happened was, she suddenly thought, why don't I go and look for the manager of Mass Airlines and ask for his help. And when she looked for him, God seemed to have taken the task of sending the statue from Madras to Indonesia. The manager happens to be a Catholic man. His name was Lazarus. So when he heard the story, he simply waived the extra charges and asked him to send it. But unfortunately, the man who is in charge, he put it in transit to Kuala Lumpur before sending it straight away to Medan. So the lady had to take the statue out of the plane in Kuala Lumpur, and when it was about to start from Medan on the 8th morning, she had the same problem as in Madras. Unless she paid 30 kilo extra, she cannot take the statue. Not knowing what to do, the lady told us she was sitting at the airport and was weeping. Not long ago, suddenly a lady, an Indian lady, approached her and asked her, what's the problem, why are you weeping? Then when she explained the problem, that lady, strange lady said, I am also a Catholic lady working at the airport as a sweeper. But my name is Annai Velangkani. When that lady heard the name Annai Velangkani, she was simply couldn't believe her ears. Then she consoled her, then both of them went to ask for help from the officer. The officer told them, according to the rules, he cannot help. But there is a way out. If they can find a passenger going to Medan, having no luggage, if they could bring his ticket, then he could help. While they were waiting to find a man going to Medan, suddenly a Muslim boy passed by. The lady from Indonesia immediately recognized this fellow is from Indonesia. Certainly he will go to Indonesia. So you'll go and ask him where he's going. So when they asked him, he said, I am Gulkar from Medan. I'm going home for holidays. Then when they asked him, inquired about whether he has luggage, He said, this time I don't have any luggage, only the carry bag I am carrying. You see how God has arranged everything to fit in His plan, that Our Lady should be here on the day of her feast. That was the greatest miracle we thought at the beginning, a divine approval for the shrine to be built. After her arrival, I had this problem of how to make her known to the Indonesians who have never heard of her name. Only Indian population in Medan know about Velangkani, but the locals, no one knows, even heard about it. So, here also I find God's intervention. On the 2nd of November 2002, a Lady of Velangkani worked a miracle in the town of Medan. The miracle happened like this. On the 30th of October, I went to my former parish in Bandar and asked for help from my former parishioners for the building fund. They collected among themselves and gave 10 million rupees. I brought the money to Medan, but the next day I have to leave early in the morning to Jakarta, so I had no time to go to the bank to store it. So I just wrapped the paper and some soil in and put it in a plastic carry bag and left it on my table where I used to stay in the town. In a Hindu family, we have been providing accommodation facilities for more than 15 years. So, and in my room, I have a special room in their house. In that room, I left it. When I finished my work in Jakarta, when I was coming back on the 2nd of November, I was waiting for the flight in Jakarta. Then suddenly my handphone rang, and I was informed that early morning, 2 o'clock, a fire seemed to have started from my room because of the electrical short circuit, and destroyed the second floor completely. I couldn't believe it. I thought, the first thought was, finish my 10 million on the table. Then when I came back, I went to the room. I couldn't recognize my room. The table is gone, the chair is gone, the book rack is gone, everything is in ashes and debris. So I believe that the money also is burned down. But when I was trying to clear the room, I saw the paper with which I wrapped the money lying in the midst of the debris. When I took it, the 10 million rupiah, the money, was untouched by fire. The rest is gone. In the same way, by the side of my room, the school children of the family were sleeping. Their books and uniforms, everything was destroyed. But very miraculously, the Bible and the hymnal, they were in between the books, were untouched by fire. So immediately the local papers published it. A miracle has happened in Medan, and that way they have informed that Our Lady of Velangkani has come from India to stay in Medan, and they are building a church for her, and anybody who wants to help can send their funds. That is the way Our Lady worked such a miracle to make herself known to the Indonesians, and at the same time to bring in funds through her. Okay. From here you will notice very clearly the very idea of this place being the meeting, encounter of God with His people. You see, the asphalted road, in the shape of a man, coming in his weakness and sinfulness, surrendering to God. You see the asphalted road with the head, the hands, and so on. And Mary, from here, seeing people coming, takes them in an embrace. So the ramp symbolizing Mary's embracing hands. Coming to Mary's embrace or promise, guaranteed salvation and life everlasting. this is the chapel which actually is the origin of this shrine, you see. In 2001, early 2001, we started putting up this little chapel to pray so that the permit for the church could be obtained. Yes? And as soon as the chapel was finished, in a very miraculous way, the permit came out for the building the shrine, you see. So that was for us a kind of a divine approval that Our Lady should have a place in Indonesia, in Medan. So you see that little chapel. Then take that, the miracle one, yes, no? So, as I explained to you earlier, the first miracle Our Lady of Velangkani performed in the city of Medan, these are the proof of that miracle. You see, this is the money that was untouched by fire, and the Bible and the hymnal. Yes? And in that Hindu family, in their own little altar, they kept the cross, the plastic cross. That also was saved, only when it fell down, it broke part of it. But these were all untouched by fire. That way we see how God has so wonderfully guiding the whole project from the very beginning up to now. Then you have to take the latest miracle is the one, the discovery of the spring of water just under the feet of the statue of Our Lady in the chapel. What happened was, after the blessing of the church in October, a week or so later, the floor of the chapel started flooding. We didn't know why, but we thought because of the rainy season, water from outside seeps into that one. But it was not, so I wanted to raise the floor. I broke the old floor and raised it by 40 centimeters and put the ceramic over it. But still, it's getting wet, so we didn't understand. Finally, I remembered a few months ago somebody mentioned that there may be a source of water under the altar of the chapel. Because of my busy days in October, I did not give much attention to it. But once it happened, then we called the water diviners, a couple of them, to see whether there is any source of water which makes this flooded. And both of them pointed out exactly the same place under the altar, saying there's a strong current of water below. But I am not prepared to break the altar in order to get the water. So what we did was, we bored a well about 1.5 meters from the source they pointed out. But the water was not good, you see. So I was always worried about whether to break down the altar and bore it. But exactly on the same day, which the first miracle happened, 2nd of November 2002, exactly the 2nd of November 2006, we discovered the spring of water. What happened was, the previous night, on the 1st of November, I couldn't have a good sleep. I was rolling in my bed, thinking about this puzzle. During that, my sleep, I heard repeatedly voice sing, why don't you scratch the under the feet of the statue of Our Lady? This was repeatedly heard. So early in the morning when I got up, I called the gardener to break open the tiles and dig just below or under the feet of Mary. He started digging, only he removed the soil we filled in 40 centimeters. Then he shouted, "Father, there is a bubbling of water from here." Then I understood that may be the reason why this was flooded. So we made a little pond to see whether that water is, the water is gathering there, because we couldn't see the spot where the spring of water was coming. Then it started filling it, but never overflowed. In order to find out how much of volume of water we could get, I just put a little pump, the aquarium pump, to see the flow of water. When we put the pump, the water was flowing continuously, and the water was so crystal clear, no smell, and a good taste. Before making sure that it's drinkable, so I sent it for a sample to the water department to analyze it. And after analysis, they said it's pure water, sterile water, without even boiling it, you can straight away drink it. When that news got into people's ears, a lot of people came to drink and fetch the water, holy water. And true to the miraculous nature of this, a lot of people come to thank Our Lady after getting cured. So it is a healing water, people think. And it has been the greatest attraction also for a lot of people, local people, to come and see and drink and enjoy the benefits of God's power through that water. So you can see that one. Now we are actually going into the very source of this spring. And once we get this finished,